You've had a couple big blocks last few games. I mean, just springing guys from it could be a 10-yard, 15-yard pickup all the way to touchdowns. What does that feel like?
Those blocks are fun. When you feel like you made an impact on us either scoring or turning it into an explosive play, and that's something as the years gone on. I've tried to put more emphasis on and try to finish those blocks downfield. So seeing those happen, and like for example Tyler Simmons, seeing him score, and you're blocking for him all the way down the field, that's a good feeling.
I mean, you had to go about 18 yards before you got to the guy.
Yeah, if you can get, like on that particular play, I got to the safety, and if you can get to the safeties and block those guys downfield, it creates a lot of opportunities for guys to make more yards and make more big plays.
I think he didn't quite get into the end zone, but it's another big play on this offense the last several weeks. What do you make of so many different guys, whether it's Tyler Simmons, Jason Stanley, James Cook? It seems like everyone's breaking up these big plays lately.
Yeah, I think that's just a testament to how those guys work. Those guys are coming out and making plays out of the blue. But they do it in practice all the time, and when they're getting their opportunities in the games, they're taking advantage of it. So. Those guys have been doing great, and I'm really happy, to see those guys make good plays like that.
Well, what does it say about this offense in particular? They're not necessarily the guys that these plays are being made. Are they drawing it up, or are they scheming it?
Yeah, I think it's just guys working hard and showing what they can do in practice, and then coaches giving them opportunities in the game, and they're taking full advantage of it, making big plays for us. So it's great to see hard work come to fruition.
Isaac, when you play these triple option teams and they keep the ball, you guys stay on the sideline. I know in the fourth quarter a couple of years ago, it seemed like Tech had the ball the entire fourth quarter when they came back. How frustrating was that? And can it sometimes lead to a panic where you're like, okay, we're only going to have the ball for a split second here. We need to make the most of it.
Yeah, it can. With the offense they run, they hold the ball. They're running the ball and they're chewing clock, and that's what they want to try to do. They want to try to take away possessions from us, but. Offensively, when we get the ball, we got to go score, and because our possessions are limited, based off of what they do, and defense, we got to take the ball off them and stop them. So, to get us the ball back to to go score. So, it's definitely a challenge, that aspect of the game, but. We're going to try to do our part and get the ball in the end zone.
And is that a pressure? I guess that's a pressure you don't feel pretty much any other week just because of what Tech likes to do, like you said.
Yeah, it's a little different, with them holding the ball and chewing up clock. So, we got to do a great job as well, keeping the ball, for our defense.
Does the fact they won the last two times here provide any extra motivation?
Yeah, I definitely don't want them to win here ever again, especially while I'm here. So, it's a big game for us, and I'm excited to attack this one and make sure those hedges don't get touched.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Do you obviously the key is winning, so they don't have the opportunity to tear this. But is there some kind of philosophical, or are they doing something wrong by destroying the hedges when they do win?
Well, it's been the history of it, but we're going to make sure that don't happen this year.
When you hear players talk about they're looking for maybe doing that again on Saturday, how does that make you?
You try not to worry too much about it and handle business when they get on the field, and like I said, make sure they don't touch them.
I know you don't look ahead, and obviously you're going to have a pretty big game in a week, but how much though just kind of thinking about we can't let them mess up our – you got some bigger goals in mind, obviously, the SEC and even the college football playoff coming up. How much does that weigh on you not to let them – I'm sure they'd love to ruin your season.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that we got to finish the season strong, and this week and the following week in order to be able to do what we want to do, accomplish what we want to accomplish. So, we just got to go out and do what we've, been doing, especially the second half of the year. I feel like we've really been clicking and playing well. So we just got to continue that going and, get a big win this weekend.
You don't feel like you said, that you're playing your best? Does this remind you a little bit of last year? You had a later loss last year at Auburn, but then kind of after that, once y'all got going, it was pretty impressive where you were playing off of that loss.
Yeah, I think we're clicking pretty well. The good news is we can still get better, and we see that every week on tape. Things that we can improve on, and I think every week we have gotten better in certain areas, and so that's our main focus, is just to continue to grow, regardless of who we play, and win every week.
Isaac, what are your memories of 2 years ago?
Not good ones. I remember, just watching the march down the field and us not being able to get the ball back. So, that was tough. And, that's something, a feeling I don't want to have again, a feeling that nobody wants to have again. And so we're going to work extra hard this week to make sure that doesn't happen.
And how much chatter in the locker room of the Tech players, some of them ripping up some hedges and celebrating on your field?
Obviously you don't want to keep that as your main focus, but that's an idea that sits in the back of your mind that, like I said, you want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Do you see this as a respectful rivalry between the two schools?
Yeah, we got some. Obviously got respect for anybody we play, because anybody can beat you at any time, and that's just the nature of college football.
Oh, I mean just the way you guys interact with each other during the game and things like that.
Oh yeah, we don't really like them. They don't really like us. It's just rivalry week, you know what I mean? And we want to keep running the state, keep that trophy in our corner.
This will be the last game at Sanford for a couple of guys on the team. How important is it for the team for you guys to send the seniors off with a win at Sanford?
It's super important. For these seniors, this is a huge game, and I know Coach Smart talks about it all the time. His senior year, he left with a bad taste in his mouth, and that's something that we want to make sure the seniors don't have, and we want to go out on top.
And you're not a senior, but this is your last game. Your last game meets Tech at Sanford. Is this kind of something you want to get checked off? Not just for the seniors, but your own career too, getting a win over Tech at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Growing up in Buford, do you know many players on Georgia Tech?
I do. I got one of my best friends is one of their linebackers, so I should be seeing him. On the field, David Curry. And so, we've already been talking about it. We've been talking about it all year. And, so we're gonna get after each other, no doubt.
I know y'all aren't the same, position group, but what does Terry kind of meant, with being an older guy in the offense and all, what does he kind of mean?
Terry's great. He's always got the best attitude. Always smiling, always happy. And, he's a guy that, especially these last couple of weeks, has come up and made some big plays for us. And, he's a great player, older guy, experienced, and Terry's a great one for our team. One of my good friends. So I love Terry. Everybody loves Terry around here.
When y'all think back, is that play at Notre Dame last year that kind of everybody's like, man, that was that's his play that everybody thinks about, the one-handed catch?
Yeah, and then he'll do stuff in practice where he'll just be like, if that happened during a game, it would be all over, Sports Center. So, he's a special talent for sure.
We know their offense is unique, I guess, from the triple option standpoint. Is there anything unique about their defense? What do you think of when you think about what they do defensively?
Well, their D coordinator was at App State, when we played App last year. So, we've seen kind of what they do, in the past. So, that's going to be another good game for us to go back and watch and see how they try to scheme up, us in that game and watch what they've done this year. But nothing too crazy. They're a pretty normal defense as far as college football goes. It's nothing like the triple option that our defense is going to be facing, with their offense. But they're a solid team.
What's the level of confidence on this offense right now? Because you guys have really done some pretty incredible things these last few weeks. Is the confidence at an all-time? And now you got Justin kind of getting his own confidence built.
Yeah, guys are playing good right now. As the year goes on, guys get better and continue to grow, and other guys start stepping up, and you're like, wow, where'd that come from? So, we got a lot of good players, a lot of confidence, and that's good to have, especially going into this part of the year.
Such a big difference this week for the defense to press.